With that down, guys, let's get on to some stuff here, shall we? And we're going to talk about this. Yesterday, or the day before, a little bit of stir, Kevin Feige announced that although they had already been building sets and all that kind of stuff, a lot of pre-production on Avengers Doomsday, we've actually seen some leaked footage of just some sets being constructed. But Kevin Feige announced that on Monday, that's today, April 28th, actual shooting on Avengers Doomsday begins.
They've gathered all the chairs.
They've got all the chairs.
All the chairs.
Case in point, the Russo brothers put out their first official behind-the-scenes picture, which you can see here. It is, of course, a chair, a continuation of Chair Watch, on set in, like, the wooden paneling that kind of looks like an X-Mansion, maybe? I don't know. I'm reading a lot into wood paneling on a wall. But again, they just put the name Victor Von Doom right on there. And what did they write? They wrote, Day One. Day one. The movie is shooting as we speak.
So he's not a Stark variant.
Well, they're probably very. Here's the thing. I've never liked that terminology because that makes the assumption that Tony Stark, as we know him, is the base model and all these other things.
True.
I contend that Tony Stark, as we knew him, is a variant of Victor Von Doom. But then again, getting into a play on words.
And that
there.
madman's not really his dad.
No, they can do a lot of different things. But as we speak, Robert Downey Jr., if that chair's there, assumingly is in front of a camera right now, acting his ass off, and they're making this movie right now. And the movie comes out in a year. And a lot of people asking, is that enough time? Absolutely. It's tons of time. Like, remember, they've been working on this film for months. Building sets, construction, visual effects. By the way, some of you think visual effects work doesn't start till after they're done shooting. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I guarantee you already there's a whole bunch of visual effects that are done.
They're shooting this in London, right?
Yeah, right now.
They're
Well,
shooting
as of
everything there
right
from now
now.
on.
Yeah, as of now, they're shooting. I'm sure probably going to move around a little bit. But they're making this movie. It's coming out in a year. All right. The key thing here for me, as I look at this, is honestly, like, Marvel needs this right now. I mean, listen, they just had a nice little win with Daredevil Born Again. That good job on that. Congratulations on that. That was a win. But it was a Disney Plus show, right? That's not nearly as important. Again, I'm not trying to degrade the Disney Plus stuff, but let's call it what it is. It's not as vital or as important. They really need this because it would have been really nice if Marvel could have followed up the ridiculous success of Deadpool and Wolverine if they could have followed it up with a really strong Captain America Brave New World. They did not follow up strongly with Captain America Brave New World, which is unfortunate. But at least it came out when everybody knew we've got a new Avengers movie coming. And for them to be on set and shooting this, Rob, let me put it to you. Two different questions I have. Question number one is, I mean, how does it feel to know this movie's actually now shooting? The actors are on set, the director's on set. And then number two, how important is it for Doomsday? I mean, nobody thinks it needs to be better than Endgame, better than Infinity War, but how important is it for this movie to do well, and not just do well, but be great? How do you see this?
Well, I think it's cool that it's shooting. I mean, look, the 4 Avengers movies have delivered the goods. They, to me, are peak Marvel. It's what the MCU was leading up to, and they made it work 4 times. So it's exciting as shooting, but I would say that the future of the MCU as a viable entertainment brand, it can't be, as the kids say, mid anymore.
Right.
Deadpool and Wolverine was a anomaly, but the brand has been decidedly mid for a while, and
With a few exceptions.
with a few, sure, but I think overall, whereas the first 23 movies of the Infinity Saga were not. I mean, even the movies that weren't as that great still did pretty well, like Dark World and Incredible Hulk, which is a Universal movie. But I think it's really important. And to be honest, look, the hype is real for this thing. And look, I'm expecting in Infinity War and Endgame greatness from Doomsday and Secret Wars. I mean, nothing less. Why go back? I do not want to see, or at least the Avengers 1. I remember sitting in the theater, John, 2012? I was sitting next to a couple of my friends, and I turn to one of them and I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching an Avengers movie. Like, since I was a little kid reading comics, arguing with Sean Flaherty across the street, was the JLA better or were the Avengers better? I was like 6, and I was a JLA guy. I didn't like Marvel then. And Silver Surfer's more powerful than Superman, whatever. I mean, I had these arguments. But to see an Avengers movie in the theater was like, it wasn't quite seeing Star Wars for the first time, but it was close. Because I'm like, I can't believe this exists. And then each one of the Avengers movies, Age of Ultron, has only grown in stature since I've seen it. And I've watched Infinity War more times than I ever care to admit. I mean, and I want this movie to be great. Please be great. I want the MCU back.
I mean, it's what I've been saying on my show. The difference between the pre-Endgame MCU and the post-Endgame MCU is that pre-Endgame, although they weren't all bangers and winners, you had a Thor 2, you had an Iron Man 2, whatever, but pre-Endgame, we went into every single Marvel movie expecting it to be great.
Yes.
Since then, we go into Marvel movies today hoping they'll be good. We've gone from expecting great to hoping for good. Anyway,
that's bad.
What's that?
That's bad.
And that's not a step in the right direction.
I don't like it.
Chris, I mean, it's now a real thing. This movie's shooting. It's no longer theoretical. It's no longer just Robert Downey Jr. standing on a stage at Comic-Con.
Sure, it's more
It's actually shooting. So how relevant is that? But then secondly, as I asked Rob, how important is this for the MCU that this movie in particular works?
Yeah, it is important that they're filming it, they're moving along and everything. The more they show me chairs, the more they tell me, like, this is what we're doing behind the scenes, the
More
less interested I
chairs.
am in this. I'm going to be so honest. The more information I get about this movie, the less excited I am. I'm like, you can just tell me you're filming and I'll watch it later. My excitement keeps going down and down and down.
Everybody said the chairs was genius, so you're wrong.
Other people are still talking about it, and I'm at that point of, I'm real tired about talking about it.
They'd be talking about a shot from the set
yeah.
just as much as they would a chair.
Yeah.
So
That'd be more interesting. That being said, though, I mean, it is something where they do need to stick the landing. We have to deliver on why RDJ is back, because I'm going to call it what it is. It's still a gamble of make it make sense. Make me understand why RDJ is here, as opposed to, is this some kind of gimmick? Is this some kind of other thing? Are you doing this because of how people have felt about the MCU? So they have to get him right, and they have to get Victor Von Doom right. On top of that, too, I think the kind of conclusion of all these multiverses and all this other information that we've had around the various universes and stuff really needs to stick the landing to have a good payoff. Ultimately, right now, I think Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are the more important things leading up to it. But I mean, this really just needs to be a stellar film and deliver on what's promised, especially with the Russos behind it. That also sets an expectation.
Also, you just reminded me of something. We all want the multiverse to go away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing.
That's
The
really
multiverse
it.
has not worked, and they keep doubling down on this. And this Avengers movie is a movie that has no Avengers, other than what Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And we don't even get because the Vision series is going, so we don't know if we're going to get Vision we don't know if we're going to have Paul Bettany, and he's an Avengers heavy hitter. So there's no Avengers. There's a weird total stunt casting in Robert Downey Jr. that's making us all go, huh? Which means it could retcon the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it's like, I think there's a lot to be trepidatious about.
That's how I feel right now.
Often when we're talking about
Trepidatious is
sticking the landing, we're normally 99% of the time we're talking about something that's been going well so far, but can you stick the landing?
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where it has not gone well. And can you make it worth it? Can you make the mediocrity? Can you make the hit and misses? Can you make a couple of big, shining, excellent projects? Yes, but a number of them that have failed to impress. Can you make all this suffering worth it with a banger of Doomsday and Secret Wars? Now, and by the way, let me give a little bit of pushback on the Robert Downey Jr. stuff, because you mentioned like the stunt casting. I would say this, to the 95% of the general movie-going audience, they don't see this as stunt casting. They see this as exciting and amazing and all that kind of stuff. And I think,
Like the Love Boat.
exciting and new. Climb aboard. We're expecting
what
you.
is this, like every week with the Love Boat with you?
I know, I
It's
can't help
like
it.
a new thing. But
I want to be Meryl Steubing when I grow up.
I think having Victor Von Doom
I think you're there.
being played by Robert Downey Jr. opens a world of amazing storytelling opportunities, like with some real emotional weight. That's though, as Chris says, it's if they execute it right and they pay and they explain it well. Otherwise, it can be a big mess. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, question is for you: what do you think about this? Avengers Doomsday. It's no longer just in the planning stage. It's actually right now, as we speak, somewhere right now, Robert Downey Jr. is on a set acting as Victor Von Doom, and cameras are rolling. It's exciting. And how important is it for this Doomsday movie to be great? Not necessarily do you think it'll be great, but how important is it that it is? I think it's pretty damn important. Anyway, whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.